Hey there everyone, so as you can see I'm wearing the same outfit that I wore in my last video, and I'll probably be wearing in my next video. Since I have some time today, I'm doing a bunch of different videos, and then I'm going to release them kind of one by one. And so, first of all, I want to talk about, I haven't done a video about body and self-esteem in a while, and I really want to talk about that. As you know, I am like the queen of body image issues and eating disorders, and when I say it like that, I'm against these. I'm very pro-body. I'm very pro loving yourself first and foremost. Oh, I saw a light out the window and I kind of freaked myself out. I think my dogs are outside. Anyways, this video might be shorter than I think it's going to be. Anyway, first and foremost, I don't care who tells you that you're ugly. If you have a beautiful soul, which means if you give to others and you love life and you're not a grumpy gill, like you don't sit in the corner and just complain about everything, then you have a beautiful soul. You're a beautiful person, and I don't care what anyone has to say about that. I met some quote-unquote beautiful people that weren't beautiful. And that's because they had negative attitudes about everything. They were just jerks. They were bullies. They were pains in the butt. They're the kind of person that, in school, you were friends, you weren't friends with them really, but you got put in a group with them in, let's say, science class, and they were the person who was always really vain. And I want to say fecal, but I don't think that's the right word. I think fecal means poo. Well, I guess they were poo. But, and they had nothing to say of real substance. They just weren't fun to be around. Now, those are ugly people. Being ugly or being quote-unquote pretty or beautiful does not have to do with the size of your waist or the size of your hips or the color of your skin or the length of your hair or the color of your hair or the amount of bushy eyebrow you have or your height or your weight or the size of your foot. I'm just coming up with crazy examples now, but everyone has something that they're not real fond of. I definitely do not. I'm not a fan of my skin, I'll admit to that. I've had really bad acne my entire life. I have scars because of it, and I got harassed for it in high school. That was definitely one of my biggest pet peeves, is people harassing other people because they're insecure. Everyone is insecure about something. Probably if you talk to Angelina Jolie, even, there's probably something she's insecure about. She probably never admitted to you, but I'm sure she tells her husband about it. There's all these quote-unquote beautiful people. I'm sure there's something Julia Roberts is, and she's one of the #1 paid actresses in Hollywood. Something Denzel Washington is, self-conscious about. I'm going to use Marilyn Monroe as my prime example. I love Marilyn Monroe. I find her very inspirational and very interesting to look at as a person. And she would be considered plus size by today's standards. She had hips. Her thighs rubbed together. Alright, guys? So those of you who are like, oh, I want to be able to put my legs together and my thighs not touch. Marilyn Monroe was one of the #1 sex symbols and most beautiful people of her decade, and her thighs touched. And she had an extra toe. So, there were definitely things she was self-conscious about, but did that stop her? No. She went out and, she got discovered and she made something of herself. Mind you, she had a tragic ending, and she let the self-esteem get to her. She let, pressures get to her. So, that's what I'm here to talk to you about. There's all of these really awesome examples. And not really awesome, I mean sad examples of people who, they weren't sure. There's an amazing band that I grew up with. My mom grew up with them, actually, and I grew up listening to them, the Carpenters. And it's a brother and sister duo. And Karen Carpenter, who has written some of the most beautiful love songs ever, died from, she had an eating disorder. She had anorexia and bulimia, combination of both, actually. And she killed herself because of that. And yet, if you saw her, she is one of the most beautiful people you'll ever see. And, you know, you have to look at everyone. You know, there's so much. My doctor has told me at one point that I was massively overweight. I weighed 175 pounds at the time. I'm 5'9", which I looked up is a fairly healthy BMI. Body mass index, for those of you who don't know that, feel free to Google it and look up what yours is. It's always good to know. And my doctor told me I was morbidly obese and told me that I needed to lose about 50 pounds. If I had lost 50 pounds, as my doctor instructed, I would be underweight. I wouldn't have not looked healthy, and, you know, that's not me. I'm okay with being plus size. My BMI is not, you know, perfect, but BMI is not the only way to determine whether or not you're healthy. And my other indexes, my other, you know, body fat ratio is healthy. It's within, you know, normal human everyday standards. It's not overweight, it's not underweight, so I don't worry about it too much. I do, however, promote eating healthy. I enjoy a good salad, I enjoy some water, but, you know, I still drink my can of soda, which I shouldn't do, but, you know, it's all about moderation. It's about, you know, if you're going to go exercise, you know, your 30 to 60 minutes a day that you should, you can eat that slice of, you know, pizza at dinner. You can eat, you know, that extra slice of pizza. You can eat that, you know, slice of cheesecake. On that same note, you know, it's so easy to stereotype people who are overweight or underweight. As I said, I have issues with my skin. For years, I was harassed about this. I was, you know, made fun of, and I hated my skin. I would honestly sit there in front of the mirror, and I would just cry looking at myself. My dog's looking at me so sad as I tell this story. But I actually found out that I have a hormone imbalance. I have PCOS. And that's what causes my acne. That's why, you know, Proactive didn't work for me, all these other over-the-counter things, and that's why I still get mad when I see Proactive commercials. But, you know, my point is, what's on your skin does not determine who you are as a person. It does not determine, you know, where you're going or what you're doing. How much meat you have in your bones does not determine what you are or where you're going. This right here, this is a scale. There was a girl who entered my I Am Beautiful campaign, which I encourage all of you to take a photo for. I plan to make another video for it very soon. And there's a girl, and she has a photo, and the photo was like this, I think, and she was hiding behind it, and it said, "You don't own me," which is so true. This scale is not what you center your life around. There's a difference between being healthy and being obsessed. There are so many people I see everywhere, even in my own life, that are obsessed with what size they are. I had a teacher at my college. She was an amazing woman. I love her, very inspiring. She cannot be told how much she weighs, because if she is, she's obsessed with it. She has to get below a certain weight in her head, and that weight is not healthy, and she knows this. But it's a disorder in her brain that clicks one way or the other. And so, you know, so whether or not it's not stepping on the scale every day, like maybe once a month or twice a year, you know, we all have fat days, and I use that term loosely because I do not believe in fat people. But we all have days where we feel bigger. You know, we all have days when we feel smaller. Embrace the days when you feel good about yourself, and, you know, see what's going on in your life that caused that. Sometimes when I got upset about my skin, or, you know, about being tall, it was hard being a tall girl in school. I got harassed a lot and made fun of, and having that, it's definitely made me more body conscious at that point. And I realized that the days when I'd let it get to me were days that other things were going wrong. So check yourself, see what's going on in your day, what's not working. On that same note, don't harass other people when you're having a bad day. We all tend to be extra critical on days that, we're not having a good day, and so anyway, so the point of my story is, don't let others get to you, because you're beautiful if you're a beautiful person inside. And I know how cliche that sounds, but it's so true. Especially, here. If anybody wants to talk about your weight or your height or how you feel overall or, whatnot, talk to me. I'm here. I've done a lot of research. I'd be more than happy to direct you to, someplace else to get more information if I don't know. Alright, guys. Girls, dolls, dogs, bunnies, turtles, that's what I got in my house. I hope to talk to you guys all soon. Leave some comments on what you think. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you disagree with me. I'd love to know. Talk to you all later. Toodles!